Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Taiwo Akiwande. I'm a parent in the Intentional Parenting Academy. I'm a Yada, so yes, we call ourselves Yadas. I got to know about the academy online. At a point, I was searching for solution. I attended an online class, a teens parenting stuff, and from there, the person who organized it, I followed her on the internet, and then I noticed she was following someone called Wendy Ologe, Intentional Parents. So I decided to follow, and since then, it's been from one level of success to another. So I eventually got to attend the T-Panel conference in 2021. And I also took part in the Emotional Challenge course. And since then, I registered to join the inner circle of the Intentional Parents Academy. Since joining the inner circle, I have changed. So I joined with the intention of finding a solution to, of course, parent my children. But guess what? I have changed completely from the person I used to be. Every area of my life, apart from parenting, has been touched. Spiritual, career-wise, I'm able to make informed decisions, and people see me and like, wow, Taiwo, you really changed. I'm happy to have met Coach Wendy. Each time I get the opportunity to talk to her or make comments, I say, oh yes, Coach has been a blessing. So the TIP Annual Conference is coming up again this year. We have over 30 speakers already set to deliver. I can assure you that it's going to be a wonderful experience. I wouldn't miss it for anything, and I wouldn't want you to miss it. Take my word for it. If you attend the conference and you don't get value, you can come back to me and we'll take it up from there. So TIP Annual Conference 2023 is here. Don't miss it. Thank you.
Welcome to Toybox. At Toybox, we specialize in providing valuable learning resources and support for children with autism, ADHD, and similar learning difficulties. We also offer a range of Montessori educational resources to enhance your children's educational journey. Our learning resources are designed to help your child with speech and sentence building, fine and gross motor skills, hand-eye coordination, promote independence, foster cognitive development, and overall academic development. Our range of educational resources includes our carefully curated selection of high-frequency words, carefully chosen to enhance reading and writing skills. Each card features a high-impact word, its pronunciation, and a delightful illustration, making learning engaging and memorable. Our high-frequency words flashcards are designed to foster a strong vocabulary foundation. Discover the magic of numbers and letters through captivating visuals, igniting curiosity, and building a solid foundation for young minds using our carefully designed, colorful, and vibrant numbers and alphabet flashcards. And here we have our emotion cards, one of our best sellers. Recognizing facial expressions of emotions is critical to connecting and developing social interaction in early life. Recognizing the emotions and expression of others is one of the basic skills that allows us to understand people's intention and mental status, which sensory engagement, focus, creativity, and social interaction is one calming activity ideal for children with autism and ADHD. With our colorful beading toy, you can help your child with their sensory engagement, develop their fine motor skills, focus and attention, creativity and expression. We also have another type of building block. These high energy blocks are not only a delightful visual treat, but also a powerful educational tool, helping children grasp the fundamentals of numbers and letters with ease. Crafted with premium materials, these blocks are designed to withstand the hours of joyful play and learning. Next is our alphabet pairing spelling game. Each wooden letter comes to life with charming visuals of the words they spell, transforming learning into an immersive and joyful learning. Our innovative variable knot is the key to unlocking a world of boundless imagination. Watch as children engage in the wonders of hands-on learning, putting together these delightful pieces to form a myriad of objects and structures. We are located at Suite B48, Grand Mall, opposite Arishikola Shopping Complex, Bodija, Ibadan. And you can also find us on our social media handles, Instagram and Facebook at toybox.ng. We deliver nationwide. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dr. Lola. I'm a medical professional and autism professional, and I'm a proud sponsor of the TIP 2023 annual conference. And I'm also the founder of Autism Renewed, which is an online consulting practice where we support and coach parents of children with speech delay and autism on how to help their children navigate developmental challenges and to thrive. So at Autism Renewed, we believe in putting the power in the hands of the parents, because we believe an informed and empowered parent becomes a parenting advantage to help their children navigate challenges and to thrive. And we do this via different platforms. We have one-on-one consultations, we have coaching programs, we have courses, books, guides, and resources. I want to appreciate Coach Wendy and the amazing TIP team for putting such an amazing conference together. So you can reach out to us if you have a child with speech delay, autism, developmental challenges, and I'll be happy to support you. Thank you.
And I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.
All right, everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to the final session for this morning, Saturday, the 29th of July. Hi, Tokwe, good to see you. Welcome to this session.
Hello, Chief Doze. How are you today? And
Very
well
well.
done.
Very
It's been a busy day already.
yeah.
Oh
You
God.
can say that. You can say that. Good to have
Uh,
you here. So you are our moderator for today. I'm going to let you do your thing.
all right. Thank you. Okay. Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to you all, whatever part of the world you are tuning from. We are glad to have you here. Of course, it's still the 6th of the TIP Annual Conference 2023. My name, I've already been introduced. My name is Topper Solomon, and I'm super excited to be your host, for this session. And I'd like to say a big thank you to the convener of this life-changing conference, who is also the Chief Visionary Officer of the Intentional Parent Academy, Coach Wendy Ologe, and of course the entire team for the opportunity given to me to host this session. Thank you for the gift of access. I don't take it for granted. Yeah. All right. Wow. What a day we've had already. Three power packed sessions done and dusted. And guess what? Feels like we're just getting started. Come on. Um, the next session is right in the middle because we have three more super sessions to go later in the afternoon, all through to later this evening. Okay. We can rightly say indeed the six has been mind blowing. All right. Remarkable sessions we've had already. I'd just like to say quickly, please share one word that captures any of the sessions, for you, or simply share the fire emoji. You know how we do it, all right, in the inner circle. Share the fire emoji to express how remarkable the six has been for you so far. Personally, I'd say it's been a lot to take in, to be honest. The three sessions we've had already, it's been a lot, but I have a few thoughts. I mean, I wrote down so much, and I just like to highlight a few points, that I took down. So number one is the fact that we must come to terms with the fact that the world that we grew up in no longer exists. Yeah, it's gone, and it's gone for good. All right. And also that we cannot go to war with a cruise ship when the enemy has actually infiltrated our territory with warships. It's not possible. I mean, like Mrs. Not like to say, that parenting is not a spa session. It's not a photo shoot. It's not what you do crossing your leg. All right. So it's a lot of work that needs to be put in. All right. And also, I like this particular one that whoever has the ears of your children owns them. Hmm. Wow. So that simply means we need to regularly, do an assessment of the voices our children are listening to. And guess what? The inner circle family media plan readily comes to mind. If you know, you know. All right. And the one from Coach Men's, what's that one again? Okay. Tell your children what you want them to do. Yes, we should tell our kids what we want them to do and not what we do not want them to do, because by doing that we are just re-emphasizing the negative things that we don't want them to do, but rather just stick to the positives. All right, keep telling them what you want them to do. It's been such rema today. I just like to say a very big thank you, to all our speakers. We truly appreciate you. All right. According to Dr. Laura Markham, okay, parenting starts with you and I. All right, that's the parent. Parenting starts with us, and the peace in the peaceful parenting actually comes from you, the parent. So it's precisely from your commitment to regulate your own emotions. All right, that means you need to. I mean, so for example, when you feel upset or you are pressurized, which would most likely happen at some point in your parenting journey, you need to stop. All right. When you feel upset or you feel pressured, you need to stop yelling and doing all the crazy things. It's not going to cut it. You need to stop and you need to breathe. Just calm down. Like we like to say in the inner circle, be calming down. All right. Let's be calming down. Okay. All right. Now, that is not to say this will be easy. Yeah, it sounds easy, but like we like to say easier said than done. Okay, so what that simply means is that we need a structured and tested parenting system and skill sets. All right, as one of our speakers coined it, I think that was 2 days ago. Okay, that knowledge plus revelation brings insight. Yes, knowledge plus revelation brings insight. So you need the right tools for your parenting journey, and that's what you get from the TIP Inner Circle. So the TIP Inner Circle is simply the flagship, I'll say, initiative, and the Intentional Parent Academy, and it's an annual subscription-based coaching program. Okay, that is transforming the lives of thousands of parents. Okay, who are already plugged into this life-changing coaching system. Personally, I'm a proud Yada, all right, like we like to say, call ourselves in the Inner Circle. I'm a proud Yada, and I'm also a beneficiary of the Inner Circle. And I've been, well, I'm just forever thankful to my wife. I mean, my wife introduced me to the Inner Circle last year, right? And for me, it's been extremely enriching, all right? The learning, the unlearning, and the relearning, all right? Simply priceless. Definitely a better version of the person I was before joining the Inner Circle, both as a husband and as a father, you know. So I have an adorable and intellectually curious daughter, and as a co-creator and a custodian of destiny, I understand that I have the responsibility to parent correctly. I mean, it's not negotiable. I don't have a choice in the matter. All right. And the Inner Circle has been empowering me, still empowering me with knowledge-based parenting skills. All right. That I need to navigate this interesting journey of parenting. Yes, it's a journey and it's interesting, but you can choose to make it very interesting. That's not to say there won't be ups and downs, all right? There'll be challenges, you know, but with the right tools, I mean, you are able, you know, to navigate this quite easily. All right. So the Inner Circle is the real deal. And like I like to say, you cannot win parenting. All right. You can't leave things to chance, not with the confusion and darkness all around us today. But of course, what is key is the fact that we cannot afford to parent from the standpoint of fear. All right, we need information, we need knowledge, and that's what you get from the Inner Circle. You know, the Inner Circle will not only help you, you know, merely survive parenting, but it will also help you thrive. So what are you waiting for? The advice is log into the system. Registration for the 2024 cohort is still ongoing, and it's only 70,000 naira for the entire year. That's 12 solid months of coaching, mentoring, and of course, a lot more. All right. And yes, newsflash, there will be a fee increase. That's the fee will become 100,000 naira in just a few days. That's from August 1st. But guess what? You still have the opportunity to key into the current, that's the old price of 70,000 naira by simply booking your slot with 5,000 naira. Okay, with only 5,000 naira, you book a slot and you are guaranteed to pay the old fee of 70,000 naira. All right. And also, it's important to know that the academy is not oblivious, you know, the time and season we are in as a country economically. So you have the liberty to pay up the 65,000 naira balance in installment, all right, between now and December 1st, when the next cohort kicks off. Okay. All right. Now let's take a quick testimonial from some of the others in the Inner Circle, and we'll be right back with our guest speakers. All right, media team, over to you, please. Hello, is the media team ready?
This is the TIP Annual Conference.
Celia Kibler is the best-selling author of Raising Happy Toddlers, How to Build Great Parenting Skills, and Stop Yelling at Your Kids. Celia offers private and group coaching for families. She's a family empowerment coach, speaker, and the founder of Pumped Up Parenting, the International Day of Camp, and Fun Fit Family Fitness. Celia is on a mission to stop 1 million parents from yelling at their kids and creating childhoods that everyone can blossom from. Celia is the mom of 5, grandma of 9, author, speaker, and family empowerment coach. With 40 years of real-life parenting experience, and 40 years of educational and professional experience working with kids and their parents. She's now on a mission to stop 1 million parents from yelling at their kids. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TIP Annual Conference 2023, Celia Kibler.
Amazing. Welcome, Coach Celia. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. Excited to be here.
Hey, yeah, we are super excited to have you. Thank you so very much. Well, without much ado, I think I'll just hand you the floor so you take it from here. You have about 45 minutes to do this, and after which we'll come back to take a few comments and questions from our audience. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Is this like an amazing conference? We are in day 6, which means you've had 6 days of things that you can implement in your home. It's like been incredible. And the speaker before me, Meme, I'm not sure I'm saying her name correctly, and I apologize to her. But you know, people say with age comes wisdom. That's me. But with youth comes a lot of intelligence, and she was spot on with everything. So I hope you took a lot of notes from her, because honestly, I almost gave you a similar presentation, but luckily last night, kind of like CL King's calling, I changed this up. So I'm glad I did, because she gave you an incredible presentation of what you do with your toddler. I love you too, Anne. Thank you. So I'm like blown away. And we're going to kind of start with summarizing, but I want to know, on a scale from 1 to 10, let Coach Wendy know how much this conference has been of value to you. Scale from 1 to 10. 10 being incredible, 10 million being the best. Let her know. I want to see those comments of how impactful and empowering this conference has been for you. Oh, good. Motsuzi, you got to smell the flesh, sniff the flower, blow out the candles. Yay, I'm so glad it has helped you. So glad. And that's the purpose, you guys. What you need to do is all these incredible speakers, and you can rewatch who you missed. Write down the things that mean a lot to you, that you're like, you know what? I'm taking action today. Look at all those tens, millions. I love it. And that's what you need to do. If it's just one tip, you're like, whoa, one tip, like smell the flower, blow out the candles, the breathing tip that was mentioned to help you and your child calm down. Take that one thing and promise yourself you're going to put it into action. So I kind of want to summarize what we've been through a little bit this week. Number 1, the headline, the mandate that parenting is war. What does that mean? Does it mean it's war against your child? No, it means that it is war for our children. If the parents of the world do not stand up for children, who will? You know, Wendy helps me with the Day of Calm Foundation and the International Day of Calm on April 5th of every year, where we do a summit and we speak together. And the whole purpose of that is to soothe the unresolved anger and rage at the human core. That is what we're doing now, to bring an end to the needless, senseless violence against children. And so often that senseless violence happens right in a child's home, where a child should feel their most safety, their best safety, the more safe than anywhere else, is in the home. That's where a child should feel safe. And with all the yelling and the aggression and the hitting, that is removing all safety from your child. And so, yes, I'm on a mission. Actually, I've upped my mission recently to 10 million parents. Why? Because I've already reached 1 million. Wendy's right by my side. We are impacting parents because that's how we're going to change the next generation. If we want a generation to follow us and to follow and follow and follow again and again that is not filled with anger and rage, we have to stop parenting our children with anger and rage. When I was talking on Wednesday, someone brought up the biblical quote about sparing the rod, not sparing the rod. And why doesn't that mean we can hit our children with something? No, it does not mean that. It is a symbol for creating a parenting system in your home that has consequences, that includes limits and boundaries, that includes motivation and encouragement. Don't you feel more motivated if someone is encouraging you than someone is threatening you? This is a really important connection to make, because don't spare the rod does not mean smack your child. Do you think Jesus, who was probably the most peaceful human to come to the earth and come back again, there is no one more focused on peace. Do you think he wants you to smack your child, hit your child, flog your child, scream and yell at your child? When was the last time you knew Jesus to do any of those things? Never, never. Because all flogging, yelling, screaming, all that does is create a child who is filled with anger and rage. And you teach them to do the same. I have never understood a parent whose child hits and the parent then goes to the child and hits them. Stop hitting, whack. Well, you just did what you told your child not to do. Let me tell you, parents, everything you do, everything, good or not so good, you give your child permission to do. Let me repeat that. Everything you do, good or not so good, you give your child permission to do. So if you hit them, yes, you give them permission to hit. If you scream and yell, you give them permission to scream and yell. If you threaten them, you give them permission to threaten you. If you talk to them with attitude, and I was just talking to one of my clients last night about this. If you have attitude when you talk to your children, I get a little passionate about this. Water break, water. Do you have water? Water is good for you. If you talk to your child with attitude, you will get attitude back. We are not born with cuss words in our vocabulary. We are actually not born with vocabulary. We are born with a need for human needs. And our communication at birth is crying. There's no other communication except a little cooing and noises and all those cute little sounds we make when we're babies. We learn communication from our parents. Every way you communicate, you are teaching your child. Whatever language you speak, you are teaching your child. If you are cussing, you are teaching your child. If you want your child to use their manners, guess what, mom and dad? You have to use your manners. Well-mannered children come from well-mannered parents. You cannot expect a child to do something that you are not doing. You are their strongest role models. You are teaching everything you do, not necessarily everything you say, the action, the behaviors you are doing. If you are screaming and yelling, don't be surprised when your child screams and yells. You taught them. And then let me tell you about one of my really pet peeves. One of the things that like makes me a little nuts is when a parent punishes a child for something they taught them. Your child cusses, uses foul language, or your child screams, or your child hits, and you're doing that to them. You taught them to do that. So now they get punished for something you taught them? No, that is not fair. Not fair. Okay, I'm going on a tangent. I'm not following my order of things. Anyway, do not punish your children for something you taught them. Okay, lesson there. That's your lesson. All right, let's talk more about summarizing all of this. I want to talk about what calm, intentional parenting is, what I teach, what Wendy teaches, what all these incredible humans that have been on this conference, the messages that they teach. What is this calm, peaceful, connective, whatever word they have created, parenting is? What is it? Does it mean you always give a child their way? No. It actually doesn't mean that. And if you are really trying to always make your child happy, you are giving them a disservice. Welcome to life when things don't go your way. And if you are leading your child to believe that everything is going to go their way, they are going to be miserable adults because they're not going to know what to do about disappointment. People that drink, people that do drugs, people that harm themselves, people that have major problems with addiction have it because, and yes, this is oversimplified, but they basically have it because they don't know how to handle disappointment. Disappointment is going to come your way. No matter how old you are, you have experienced some disappointment in your life. In my 65 years, there's been a lot of disappointment, but there's been a lot of great stuff. There's been a lot of wins. So yes, you have to let your child understand that disappointment is not the end of the world. And if they cry, they cry. Crying is not going to kill anybody. They cry because they don't know how to handle their emotions yet. I talked on Wednesday a little bit about the brain. I'm going to review that. Our human brain does not fully develop until we're 25 years old. 25. So if you are not 25 yet, you don't have a fully developed brain. So imagine the brain of your toddler, your 2-year-old, 23 years before fully developed brain. That's a long time. What are we born with? We're born with needs, our human needs. We have to be loved. We have to be nourished. We have to have sleep. We have to move and exercise. And then we are born with all these emotions. In case you haven't looked at your toddler lately, they get happy 1 minute, sad the next, mad the next, happy, sad, mad. It goes like flip a switch. That's because that's what's happening in their brain. They don't know how to regulate emotions. An emotionally regulated child comes from an emotionally intelligent adult. If you are screaming and yelling, and you are flogging your child or doing some other kind of aggression to your child, that is a tantrum. You are having a tantrum. Why? Because you don't know how to regulate your own emotions. How will you possibly teach your child? If you are yelling all the time, you are not regulating your emotions. You have to teach them how to do it. And if you don't know how, then you have to learn. Children are not born with logic. You can't look at a child and go, now let's logically look at this. This is what happened. And this is what you did. They don't have logic. It's not in their brain. It's taught. They don't have reasoning. They don't even have one emotion they don't have is compassion. Compassion is taught. Why children, little kids have a hard time sharing and parents get mad. Oh, you need to share. Give that child a turn. Sharing, they don't know what that is. Sharing is an act of compassion. They have to learn that somebody else would like to use that toy. It's not all about them. When we're born, it's all about us. We are the center of the universe. But we get our first introduction to community in the family we're born into. And what is that community going to be like? Is it going to be scary and filled with rage and violence? Or is it going to be welcoming and nurturing and loving? That's up to you, parents. Wendy says it a lot. I say it a lot. Parenting is about the parents. And if you don't become intentional and learn, which you're doing right now, which makes you a great parent, I don't want you to start feeling like, oh, I've made so many mistakes. I've done so many things wrong. It's too late for me. It's too late for my kids. It's never too late. It's only too late if you're dead. If you're not dead, not too late. And you have a world of brilliant humans on this conference. And you have the TIP inner circle that you can invest in. And it's not even a big investment. It's like the deal of the century. What is more important than you and your children? Where are your priorities? Oh, I need to get this. I need to get this. I need to get this. No, you need to learn how to be the best parent you can be so you can raise the best adult there can be. Let me tell you, my friends, I have 5 children. 2 I gave birth to, 3 I gained through marriage. I've been successfully parenting this family for over 41 years because my daughter's about to turn 41. My children have children, and there is no better compliment than when you see your child cooperatively, respectfully parenting their child. That is a direct reflection on you. And that is why you're here. Because you want to be the person that stops these generational cycles of dysfunction and abuse. You got yelled at. You got hit. Did that make it right? So I want you to stop for a minute and think about how that felt. How did it feel to you when you were yelled at by your parent or you were hit by your parent? Please put that in the comments if you're willing. How do you feel? And how did you feel as a child being yelled at and being hit if you were hit? How did that make you feel? Because as you think about that, that is how your child feels. And so many people will say, well, if I don't smack my child, if I don't yell, I don't get any respect. That is not respect, my friends. That is fear. That is your child being afraid of you and afraid of what's next. You felt unloved. You felt bad. You got upset, terrible, afraid. Yes. You didn't feel empowered. You didn't feel like somebody respected you. You felt like, you know what? I'm the bad kid. When you yell at your toddler or your child, whatever age your child is, you directly send them a message that they're bad. They're bad. And when a child feels like a bad kid, the opposite of that is they also feel like they do nothing right. And now you have set up an expectation of your child being a bad kid. And you know what kids do when they have expectations? They live up to them. They go to school and they're the bad kid. They go to the family's house and they're the bad kid. They go to a friend's house and they're the bad kid. No one wants to be with them. Why? They're a bad kid. No child is born bad. They're just babies. They're innocent, sweet, adorable, little, cute babies with little teeny brains. What we do influences what they do. You felt terrible being yelled at. You felt this small. That's what's happening to your child. Do any of you second guess yourself? Second guessing, like, what would you like to eat for dinner? Oh, it doesn't matter what anyone else wants. If you second guess yourself, that is a lack of confidence. Where did you get it from? You got it from the way you were raised as a child. Why? Because when we second guess ourselves, when we're afraid to speak our truths, it's because we're afraid of being judged. Where did that come from? When you were a little kid and you wanted to say something, your parents yelled and screamed at you, and you were criticized and judged as a child. So what did you learn? You learned not to speak up. I'm not going to open my mouth, because if I open my mouth, someone is going to make fun of me. Someone is going to say what you're saying is ridiculous. Think of things that your child has said to you and have you come back with some kind of criticism. Oh, that'll never work. Why won't it work? What if they have a great idea? And they're like, let's try this. There's a lot of talk about consequences in the last session and previous sessions. You know what's a really great thing to do about a consequence? Now, a little 2-year-old isn't too good at this, but a 5-year-old can, 4-year-old can, an 8-year-old can, a 16-year-old can. Ask your child what the consequence should be. Okay, so this keeps happening again and again. You keep talking back. You keep speaking disrespectfully. What do you think your consequence should be? Children sometimes are much harder on themselves than you will ever be. Listen to their consequence. If it's reasonable, put it into place. If it's not reasonable, don't put it into place. And I'll touch on consequences because some parents were asking questions in the last session about consequences. So I'm going to give you a little golden rule to live by. Consequence, there are 3 R's to a consequence: reasonable, relatable, repeatable. Write that down. 3 R's: reasonable, relatable, repeatable. Your consequence should relate to the crime. So say your child is playing on their tablet and it's time to get off and they don't want to get off. And I'm going to teach a magic trick to help them get off without argument. But first, if this happens, then the biggest solution right off the bat there, honey, got to get off in 5 minutes. They come over. We need to eat dinner. Can you get off your tablet? No, I'm not getting off my tablet. You know what a tablet is? It's like a phone. It's little. It's portable. Take the tablet away. The end. Don't sit there for 5 minutes saying, I need you to get off your tablet. I told you to get off your tablet. You need to get off your tablet. And then you eventually start screaming at your child. When you are asking your child again and again and again to do the same thing, then you scream and they do it, It's actually not the screaming that's the problem. It's that you're asking your child again and again and again to do the same thing. Ask them once, maybe twice, that's it, and then a consequence without screaming. The consequence is if you don't get off, you're going to lose your tablet for 24 hours. Why 24 hours? Why not a week? Is because consequences are meant to teach. This is why a consequence is what you want in place instead of a punishment, a screaming and yelling, a hitting, whatever. That doesn't teach. Consequences teach when done correctly. So if you say, I'm going to take your tablet away for 24 hours, if you don't get off when asked, then you take it away. In 24 hours, you give it back. And then they have another opportunity to make a better choice. If they don't, they still don't listen. Guess what? You take it away again for 24 hours. And then 24 hours from then, you give it back. Eventually, they get the point that if they don't listen, they are never going to have this tablet. Consequences teach. They must be teachable. And that's why the recipe of relatable, reasonable, and repeatable teaches a child. Every time that situation occurs, the same consequence results. It must teach. And guess what happens? You don't have to yell. Yay! No yelling. So that's that avenue. Here's another avenue to get children to cooperate. And I will tell you, while I'm talking about the word cooperate, the word obey is another pet peeve of mine. Animals obey. Children cooperate. I'm going to say that again. Animals obey. Children cooperate. There's something you can do, and get your pens because you need to write this down because this is a golden nugget. This is what people pay me a lot of money in private coaching to teach them. And I'm teaching you guys because I'm so impressed with all you guys. And I'm so happy you've all been here. And if you're getting value from this, share it out. Send it off to your friend, a family member that you know needs to hear this. You want to transition your child from one thing to another. They're playing with their toys. You want them to go eat. They're watching something. You want them to take a bath. Whatever the transition is, we're done. We need to go to school. Here is your magic pill. This is what most parents say to me. This worked like magic. This was like magic. You told me to do this. You told me this would happen, and it did. It's not a magic pill. It works like magic. But let me tell you before I explain to you what it is, why it works like magic. It works like magic because it creates respect between you and your child. It helps your child learn responsibility. It helps empower them and take charge over their own lives. When in the life of a little child, they are for the most part being told what to do, how to do it, when to do it. This gives back a little control to your child over their life. So this is how you do it. And it is the power of choice. Now, choice can be done as wrong as it can be done as it can be done right. If you know how to create proper, respectful choices, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. I am telling you, my 6-year-old grandson, because I've taken care of him for weeks as he was growing up, and now he's in school, so I don't come and take care of him anymore. When I use this method, he is so fast to transition. By the time I turn around, he's cleaned up what he's supposed to clean up and on to the next thing. This is gold. And this teaches respect. this is what you do. First of all, choice is only for negotiables, not non-negotiables. Whatever is non-negotiable is not a choice. You have to hold your hand. Your child has to hold your hand while crossing a street. You have to be out the door by 8 o'clock. You have to take a bath. You have to brush your teeth. These are non-negotiables. Negotiable choices should be available for things that are negotiable. Things like transitions. And transitions, going from one activity to another activity, is where most parents and children struggle. This is where the tantrums happen. How do you stop yelling? You create an environment where yelling is not necessary. You control yourself. You learn how to control yourself, but the environment of your home is created so that you don't need to yell. This is one of the ways, because transitions is probably the biggest area that your child's going to have a tantrum in. Water break. Cheers. I have my coffee and my water, my two favorite drinks. I hope you do too. Okay. So, it's how you do a choice. Say your child is playing, and they may be playing with cars, and you're like, well, playing with cars is not important. But it's important to your child. They're into their little cars. So you could walk over and go, honey, stop playing, time for a bath. That is going to cause defiance, and it's going to cause anger, because they're into their cars. They don't want to stop playing. They don't want to go take a bath. They want to play with their cars. You could say, okay, honey, 5 more minutes to play, and then we have to take a bath. That is still telling. That is you telling them, this is what I want you to do instead. About 5 minutes before the time is to transition to the next thing, I want you to tell your child, are you writing this down? Write this down. Honey, you can have 3 or 5 more minutes to play. You can have 1 or 2 more minutes to play. You can have 2 or 4 more minutes to play. Whatever, that's up to you. Whatever, depending on when you want them to go. You don't have a lot of time, say 1 or 2 more minutes. You have a little more time, say 3 or 4 more minutes. Doesn't matter. The time is of your choosing, and only 2. No more than 2. And don't leave it open. Don't be like, how much longer do you want to play? Because then your child will say, I would like to play for the next 3 weeks. Don't do that. Say, honey, do you want 1 or 2 more minutes to play? Let them answer you. I will have 2 more minutes. Okay. I am going to set a timer. What are you going to do when the timer goes off for 2 minutes? I am going to stop playing and go take a bath. Verbal agreement. They're acknowledging that when that timer goes off, they're going to stop and go take a bath. Set the timer. Leave the timer where they can hear it. This is key, guys. Why do we want them to hear the timer? We want them to hear the timer because you are helping them to learn responsibility. You are teaching them to be a person of integrity. I said I would stop playing and go take a bath at 2 minutes. The timer went off, and now I'm going. You don't have to go back and say, honey, the timer's off. No, because that destroys the whole process. Let them hear the timer. I'm telling you, my grandson Brooks, he hears that timer. He's like, before I can even turn around, he's cleaned up, he's moving, and he goes to whatever we're doing next. Because he is taking responsibility for his own choice. Now, here's another little fun fact. Now, I know some of you are thinking, that's not going to happen in my house. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to say 3 or 5 more minutes, and they're going to say, I want 10 minutes. Here's your reply. Write it down. More pen, more notes. Write it down, write it down, write it down, because I want you to practice this. I'm telling you guys, this is a game changer. This is golden stuff here. Golden, big golden stuff. Your child says, I want 10 minutes. You calmly say, honey, that's not the choice. The choice is 1 or 2 more minutes. You choose or I'll choose. I'll say it again. Honey, that's not the choice. The choice is 1 or 2 more minutes. You choose or I'll choose. And they know that you're going to choose the lesser of the two. So they'll be like, all right, 2 minutes. You know, they may not say it happily, but they will say it because they don't want you to choose. And that's all you say. And then they choose. And then you go through the same process. What are you going to do in 2 minutes? Set the timer so they can hear it, and off you go. You are still in charge. And if they don't do it after they said they would, and you did all this correctly, then there's a consequence. You have to set them up for success. Don't set them up for failure. How are you motivated? I want you to think about this. When you're at work and you have a job and your boss says, I'm going to give you a raise. I'm going to give you a raise because I appreciate the hard work you're doing. Are you like, no, I don't need that raise. I'm good. I'll just keep working hard. No, you're like, woohoo, a raise. I love a raise. Yay, more money. Yay, appreciation for what I'm doing. You will always motivate your child more if you appreciate and encourage them. What does that mean? That means when they've done something great, you tell them, you notice the positive. They came over and they helped you do something. Say thank you. Thank you for helping me with the dishes. Thank you for reading to your little brother. I really appreciate it. Why? Because you are feeding attention to what their choices were that were positive and good. Wherever you feed attention is where energy will go. If you are always yelling and feeding attention to the negative things they do, they will continue to do more negative. If you feed attention to the positive things they do, guess what? They do more positive. They're happy. They ultimately want to make you proud of them. I know it doesn't seem like that sometimes, but they ultimately do. They are thrilled when you're proud of them. Give the stickers, talk, comment on when you notice. Here's a common scenario that happens with parents. And thank you guys for all your comments. I'm glad this is helping you. I need a water break. Okay, maybe a touch of coffee. My 2 favorite drinks in the world. And what's great about it is they're very free. They're free. They're wonderful. Anyway, I've had too much coffee. Can you tell? It's morning here in the United States. It's morning. It's 9 o'clock. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to stop talking soon. That's not going to be easy. All right. Back to whatever I was talking about, which I can't remember. What was I talking about? Oh my gosh, I forgot. ADD. I have ADD. And, I transit. I go, whatever. I don't even know what I was talking about. But anyway, if somebody remembers, you can put it in the comments, and then tech people, can you put the comment up there if they remember where I was going with all of this? Anyway, and I'll go back to it. You need to have a parenting system in place in your home. Why would you join the inner circle? I'll tell you why. Because it will give you a parenting system in your home. You will become a proactive parent instead of a reactive parent. Reactive parents, appreciation of their choices and what they're doing. Oh, good. Is that what I was talking about? Okay, good. Well, I'll write that down. Hold on. I'll write down appreciation of their choices. Okay, I'm going to write that down, and we'll go back to that because I don't want to miss this part. All right. So You want a parenting system. You want to be proactive, not reactive. Reactive parents yell and scream. Proactive parents are respectful, understand their child, understand the age appropriateness of their child, what their skills and abilities are, and how you can encourage them to cooperate without yelling. I've been a parent for 41 years and I don't yell. I'm not going to say I never yelled. Maybe I yelled once or twice, but overall, no yelling in 41 years. In fact, my children, who are all my 5 big children from the age of 34 to 41, if they hear me cuss, which is probably like 5 times in my whole life, they text each other. You won't believe what mom said. They send texts to be amazed that I said a cuss word. Anyway, because I don't do it. It's not normal. And I stay calm, even though I'm kind of hyper because coffee. Thank you, Rainbow Roses. I love your name, Rainbow Roses. Rainbow Roses. I love that. Okay. So you need a parenting system in your home. A system knowing how to respond prevents you from yelling, screaming, and hitting your child. You need consistency. Consistency, my friends, is key. In my group on Peanut, and if you're not part of the Peanut app, it's awesome. It's all moms and kids, and it's an app. One woman said she was asking about a sleep problem for her child, and she said, I've tried routines. I tried routines. You don't try routines. You set up a routine and you stay consistent till your child learns it. And once they learn it, it becomes automatic, and then that is resolved. You're not fighting over getting out the door in the morning because there's a routine in place. You set up schedules and routines. You motivate your child and encourage your child. And I remembered what I was going to tell you. Okay, side lobe. Okay, take a break. Pause on the motivation and encourage because it has to do with this. Let me give you an example. Your kids are playing. Your siblings are playing. Play. They're nice. You're on the phone. They're playing. They're quietly, happily playing together. Happy. You're on the phone talking, getting your stuff done. All of a sudden, they start fighting. They have been good for 15 minutes while you're on the phone, or 20 minutes, and now they start fighting. What do? You hang up that phone, or you say, excuse me. You walk in there and you yell at your kids. Why is this wrong? Because you just gave attention to the negative behavior and not the 20 minutes that they were playing great to each other. They're probably arguing because they're sick of each other. So give them a break. Siblings should not always be together. They get sick of each other, just like you get sick of people. They don't want to always be thrown together with their sibling. They need their own time. What should have happened is you're on the phone. They're playing great together. About 10 minutes in, you walk in, you say, hey, guys, you are really playing great together. I really appreciate it. When I get off, we're going to play a game together. We are going to play a game together. What did you just do? You just acknowledge their behavior. And if they start fighting and you get off the phone, you don't even have to mention the fight. Just go off and say, okay, let's play a game together. Does that mean you never recognize a fight? No. But in this scenario, you just go on with the plan. We're going to play together. They're just fighting because they're sick of each other. Okay, so I wanted to give you that example. So you want to encourage your kids. You want to motivate them. You want to notice the positive, just like we said. You want to offer limits and boundaries. Limits and boundaries are not mean. It's actually mean to not give a child limits and boundaries, because a chaotic home environment creates a chaotic child. Chaos equals stress. It's all chaotic. You're stressed out. Your children are stressed out, yelling happens. Your environment, if your environment is super cluttered, that causes stress. So you want to make sure that your environment in your home is more organized so that you're not feeling like you're tripping over everything. Get your kids to help. Make it fun. Fun and play. Oh my gosh, am I out of time?
Yeah, hi Celia. I mean,
Okay.
it's so yeah, we're actually running out of time, but we'll just
Oh
give
no,
you a
we're
few
running out of
minutes
time.
to, yeah, a
Can I
few
just say a
minutes
few more things?
to wrap this up. Yes, please.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you want to have fun. You want to play with your child. Fun is important. Laughter really is the best medicine. Your child's having a tantrum. Just start playing. Do something. Don't play with them. Let them have their tantrum. And then you go over here and you put on some music. You dance. You laugh. You play with the balloons, underinflated balloons, only underinflated. Don't overinflate your balloons. Kids love balloons. Play with balls. Don't invite your child. Just start playing and they'll see you're playing and having fun and they'll stop having a tantrum. One-on-one time, noticing the positive, and don't give in. If your child is having a tantrum, do not give in to that child. You can hold them, you can hug them, you can wait patiently while they have the tantrum, but don't give them their way. Whatever they had that tantrum over, do not give them that way because that just reinforces to your child that tantrums work. So now I ask you, what are you going to do first? All this great advice, what are you going to do? Will you think about how you felt when you were yelled at? Will you do your best to think about what triggers you to yell at your child? Triggers, sleep, hunger, thirst, overwhelm. They'll trigger you, they'll trigger your child if they're not met. And while you're at it, you can also get my 21 days to quit yelling program, which is up on the screen. Use the code Wendy, get 85% off. It's a deal. It's low, very low money, low investment. Okay, guys. So what are you going to do next? Put it in the comments. And thank you for having me.
Wow. Wow. What an incredible session. I mean, so much insight, so much insight. It's unbelievable that we've done about 1 hour already. Amazing. Thank you so much, Coach Celia. The
You're
chat
so
room has
welcome.
been buzzing with comments, from our very lively audience. At this point, I want you to take a few minute break, water break, coffee break, while we'll ask our viewers to drop their questions if they have questions, um, in the chat room. So we just take, because of time, we may just be able to take just one question thereabout. Okay, let's see. Do we have any question yet? None for now. None for now. Okay. While we're waiting to see if there will be a question, again, thank you so much. That's so much knowledge, that you've shared with us, and it's amazing. And of course, what is really, really important is implementation. Like you have pointed out. I mean, all these things are just coming together from the day one of the conference, up to this moment. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. And interestingly,
You're
it's
so welcome.
your second session, at this
My
conference
second
as
session.
well.
I have a lot of
Beautiful.
experience. See, when you're old, you have a lot of experience and things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well done. I still can't see any question.
Oh,
Let's
that's on the
see.
screen says, please, what's age
Okay, yeah,
appropriate discipline?
yeah.
So age appropriate discipline, Yolanda, and thank you for your question. The consequence itself depends on actually what happened. So age appropriate discipline may be, for a toddler. Okay. So, okay. She just added that her kids are 3 and 5. So it's really got to relate to what's going on. So if your child hits you, okay, or a lot of times that's a reaction of the subconscious mind. It reacts to being mad and they hit you. You look at your child firmly and say, I will not let you hit me. It's all you say. You don't have a discussion about being calm, all the stuff. I will not let you hit me. Set the boundary. I will not let you bite me. I will not let you kick me. And then put that child down and separate yourself from that child. Because if they're being aggressive, they can't be together with you. They have to learn to calm down, and then we can talk about things calmly. Once they've calmed down, then you can talk to them about their feelings. I know you're upset. I know you're mad, but blah, 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 whatever the problem is. So that is a age appropriate reaction to something they did. So there, it depends on what's going on. Like I said, with a tablet, or a toy, if they're playing with a red truck and they throw it, an age appropriate consequence is they lose the truck. The truck is now gone. The truck is in a timeout for 2 days. It has to relate to what's going on so they learn. I hope that helps.
All right. Thank you again, Coach Celia, for the wealth of knowledge. Any final word from you, please?
My final word is remember to reflect on what you felt when you were yelled at. And think of the acronym PEPA, P-E-P-A, P-E-P-A. When something is triggering you and you feel like you're going to yell, think PEPA. As soon as you think it, you're pausing. So the first P is pause. The second, there's not a second. The next letter is E, evaluate. So pause and evaluate what's really going on here. Next P is plan. Plan a cooperative, respectful, constructive response. And then A, act. Do that, do your plan. So pause, evaluate, plan, act. If you think of that when you're feeling triggered, it will give you time to collect yourself so that you come to your child with a more cooperative, productive response. Yelling is not productive.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much, Celia. It's always amazing to have you here. By
Thank
the
you,
way,
honey.
everyone, go follow Celia. Celia is on Facebook, and Celia is the founder of the International Day of Calm. Coach Wendy also sits on the board of that organization. So you want to go follow Celia. And you're going to, Celia is all about peace and calm and peace and calm. You're going to learn a lot of strategies from following her. It's such an honor to have you here, ma'am.
Well,
On behalf
honor is
of
mine.
yeah, on behalf of Coach Wendy, thank you very much. She will be joining us for the rest of the sessions in the day. We need to take a break now. The next sessions will begin at 4:30 p.m. West African time, of course, and I'll see everybody in that stream. Thank you very much. We have to let you go now. It's been an amazing time with you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Celia.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, Tokwe, I don't know what this session has been for you. You want to say a few words before we sign out from this
Um,
afternoon? See everybody later in the
it's
evening.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's been a lot. But just one word or one sentence from me. Everything that, like Celia said, everything that we do, whether good or bad, we actually give our children permission to do same. So we need to be conscious of whatever it is that we do, whether good or bad. All right, that's really profound. Yeah, that's really profound. And
Awesome.
finally,
Awesome.
I just like to say a big thank you to our amazing audience. They've been very, very engaging. I mean, thank them for their active participation. You guys are simply the best. Thank you so much.
Yes, TIP annual conference is the best, is the biggest happening on YouTube. And I always have my water too. So when she was saying water break, tea break, and also she said something that struck me: animals obey and then children cooperate. So have an amazing
Mm.
afternoon, everybody, and we will see you at 4:30 p.m. Take care of
All
yourself.
right.
Bye bye.
Bye.